Hans Eysenck was a biological psychologist. He was the first to do a physiological study in personality, one on how caffeine affects extroverts and introverts differently. Eysenck theorized that extroverts are operating below the needed arousal level, meaning that they need more arousal to be comfortable. If not enough, they get bored. It's hard for them to concentrate, and they even get sleepy. Introverts, on the other hand, he felt are operating above the needed arousal level, meaning that they need less arousal to be comfortable. If they get too much, they get nervous and it's hard for them to concentrate. Thus, he predicted that extroverts react less to coffee, introverts more. This was confirmed with studies of blood pressure and galvanic skin response. Later, other physiologists showed the same with EEG brainwaves, EKG evidence, which would be cardiovascular, right? And other physiological measures. But Eysenck was the one who kicked off the physiological game. Remember Alfred Adler? He was a neo-Freudian. He agreed with Freud about the importance of the unconscious, but instead of sex being the driving force, Adler felt it was a need for superiority. Now, you might think of that instead as a need to be better than average at something. He emphasized the importance of choosing and doing something in life that you are better than average at. He found, for instance, that a car mechanic who feels like he or she is one of the best in town has more life happiness than a doctor who feels that he or she is average among doctors in town. If you feel average or less at what you do, you're not very confident and tend to suffer from an inferiority complex for life that affects your life happiness. Okay, now let's test your learning on all these self terms you learned about. They can be easy to confuse, so let's nail this down. Pause the video here to test your learning, then resume to check your answers. All right, so number 1 would be self-awareness. Recognizing yourself in the mirror is evidence for self-awareness. Number 2 is self-consciousness. Being video recorded increases self-consciousness, your sense of others watching you. Number 3 is self-regulation. When you use it, you actually lose it. So it requires energy from glucose, which comes in limited quantities and is depleted when you use it, right? So it's used up over time. So that means your self-regulation is limited. Something called the Goldilocks effect is needed here. This would be number 4, right? Not too much and not too little. That's called the Goldilocks effect in psychology, and that would be self-enhancement. So good to have a little bit of that, to think you're better than you really are, but not good to think you're too much better than what you really are. And when I say good, I mean for psychological health. Number 5 would be self-congruency. So receiving unconditional positive regard from one person, even just one person in your life, can increase this, your self-congruency. Number 6, giving people positive feedback can increase and the answer is self-esteem. Self-esteem. So don't get self-consciousness and self-awareness mixed up. Here's a good trick for teasing them apart. Remember that self-awareness is your awareness of yourself as a separate entity. Self-consciousness is a sense of yourself as seen through others' eyes and their judgment.